what are the things that are working in the field that people are doing, and what are some things that where they're struggling, and hopefully we can narrow the gap to say, okay, this is what needs to happen. This is the answer that we're looking for, because we're asking the right questions rather than, kind of shooting here and there. We're going to each day narrow it down and say, okay, this is a repeating theme that's happening over and over, and what is our answer to it? So although I may not have the answer for it today, or we may not have the answer for it today, I think we can get closer onto what people are doing to become successful. And if they're struggling, let's find the answer to those questions that they're asking. So hopefully we can solve the world problems today on our mastermind call. So the first thing that he brought up were 3 areas that he felt like we could improve on. Doreen, it's nice to have you back.
Sorry, I got lost there.
That's all right. So what we're doing, Doreen, just to catch you up, is we are going to be talking about certain topics, and then hopefully together we can narrow, between the 4 of us here, we can narrow down some of the questions that need to be asked as far as what's going on with the field, what's the overall feeling, and then what can we do here at corporate, and what can you guys do as leaders to answer some of those questions that are being asked. The first one is in regards to 3 topics where Carl feels that we can improve on. Number 1 is, got my little thing here, HD starts. Number 2, the people who hit Success Club 1. And number 3, the people who hit Success Club 5. So he says those are the 3 areas where he feels like we, as overall, we can improve on. So asking the right questions. Let's talk about that. What are your guys' overall feelings on your team's HD starts, people who hit SC1 and people who hit SC5? Why are they and why aren't they?
But can I just ask a quick question? When you say about HD, do you mean for like our customers purchasing a challenge pack and doing it as a one-time order rather than clicking the HD? I don't, explain that part a little more. I'm not getting that.
Yeah, so he says that the overall HD starts are lower than normal.
But is that because people are doing a one-time order rather than clicking the HD part?
And that's the things we need to figure out is why are they lower than normal?
Well, if it's signing up a coach to buy a challenge pack, we always tell them that they have to remain on HD. But customers, we hope that they, will purchase a challenge pack. I mean, I try to let people know that, purchase the HD. You can make your decision later if you want to go ahead and cancel. So I'm not 100% on that one, how I would answer. I guess we'll see what the other ladies say. But as far as the Success Club goes, I know for me, last year was pushing for rank, which I've totally changed my ways this year, and I've seen a huge difference. The reason being that there was whether it was a Success Club 1 or 5, was because I was signing up discount coaches, and they had no desire to even understand what Success Club was. And so this year, signing up working coaches and explaining success starters to them from the beginning, they are hitting it. So for me, that's the difference.
Yeah, that's very interesting. So maybe we should do this one at a time. So let's go back to, because I want to go back to the HD one, and then we'll come back to the SC one. So with HD guys, with the home direct, that's the question we need to be asking, is at what point do we offer it to them so that they do stay on it? Is it at the beginning? Do we say, hey, look, you need to be doing 3 months of this at least? Or do we say, hey, yeah, I just need you doing this for the 1 month and then we'll decide after that? Or if they want to cancel, what's our response to that? What do you guys do overall?
Can I ask you, is the question starting them on HD or continuing them on HD?
These are HD starts, but we can talk about keeping them on as well. I think retention is just as equal as in importance.
I didn't know what the question was, though, because you said started on HD. If all the challenge packs start on HD, they have to negatively request not to be, and that's very cumbersome. They have to do it on the phone. And usually what the customer service rep does is say, I'll put it for you on HD and take it right off after. So I don't think that's the problem. The problem is people that just sell a Shakeology order. And I don't
because
ever
that doesn't
recommend.
require HD, right?
The challenge packs require HD
Right,
unless
but
you
not
go
just
online.
Shakeology.
You can't just check no anywhere.
Right.
So the thing is that people that get started, with a shake order, and they can check not HD. But I tell my people, the way I totally go around that is because ordering Shakeology by itself is not a good deal. It's never the better deal for the customer. So I thoroughly explain, month after month after month, that Shakeology alone is never the best deal. To offer them for $10 more, they get this, that, and the other thing, plus the discount. So they're spending $30 less because it would be $170 if they wanted the discount. Tell them if they don't want the program, it's a $70 program they're getting for $10. They can give it as a gift. It's still a $70 value. So nobody starts, unless by accident, nobody orders just the shakes. Like somebody just ordered the shakes from one of my coaches. Just sold a shake order the other day, and she's like, she's on the thing with me going, what do I do? This girl will not listen. And I'm like, tell her this, tell her this, tell her this. It's highly unusual that anybody orders just the shakes because it's not a better deal for them.
A way to get around that, I've found with either purchasing Shakeology or a challenge pack, is when your customer is interested, instead of directing them to your website and allowing them to kind of navigate around and try to find a challenge pack, do Coach Mobile.
I never, ever give a link. I only do Coach Mobile because of that. Because they'll end up ordering a program for $60.
Well, then they're also, just going and paying an invoice through their email. They're not even really getting to shop. So it kind of makes it a no-brainer. But I don't think I've ever said just try it for 3 months. I've always said it's best to just stay on it for 3 weeks, 4 weeks, see if you like it. You can always cancel it then. Why do it at the beginning? You're getting a $2 shipping.
Yep.
And rather than almost $14.95 sometimes. And you're, I always say 90% of my customers end up staying on it. And what they've done, they've canceled. Then they have to reorder. And then they have to pay like another shipping. So stay on it. You can push back your ship date. I give them, once they get
lots of options.
You give them you get them knowledgeable, because I have to tell you, a lot, especially my era being a little older, like people think it's like that old record thing where you wanted to get you got stuck in that contract and it was so hard to get out. I mean, people could not get out of that contract. I have to tell people, oh, we're so off. Beachbody's so awesome about, canceling, it's no brainer. You just do it. Like, it's not a big deal. And you just have to make them knowledgeable, because they're thinking about those other things they've gotten locked in, and their credit went bad and they weren't able to get out of it and they had to pay. And that's what they're thinking. Maybe not some of the younger people, but the older people are definitely thinking that. I've had a couple people tell me that.
I would never tell them that they need to stay on it for 3 months. They would not buy.
I wouldn't either.
They would not buy. That's Isogenics. That's Advocare. That's Thrive. They get stuck in those things. I tell them, give it a shot for a month. There's this awesome guarantee, bottom of the bag. You can return the whole thing. That's how people buy.
Yeah.
I do like the money back guarantee. I think that's something that we don't utilize often enough with coaching. Obviously, it sounds like you guys do, but I think in general, I think coaches don't use that. And Carl talks about all that all the time. He says it comes with a money back guarantee, guys. It's
risk free.
No, it's risk free. Okay, so what's occurring to me here is we're talking a lot about the financial benefits of being on HD. Do you guys ever talk about the health benefits of being on HD, or is it only financial?
What is the health benefit of being
on HD?
Well,
I've explained to them sometimes it takes a while to get into your system to feel the benefits. I usually talk about that more when I'm selling a sample pack. I don't bother doing like a 3-day or 5-day anymore. I try to do a 7-day, and I call it a sampler kit. And I just say it takes a while to get into your system to feel the benefits. I always try to tell people it wasn't until my shake order, I had to wait a week for my shake order to come that I realized how much I missed it. It wasn't when I was on it. It was when it was taken away from me that I realized how much I missed it.
Yeah, and that's what I'm kind of getting at here is, and this has happened with the previous company I worked for, is so, and I started on the call center. I was the guy when you called in, you wanted to send somebody up, I answered it, and we signed up, and every time people would call in, and it would be the sponsor and it'd be the new person. And I'd be asking the new person new questions, all the questions, what's your name, address, and getting credit card information. And at that point, as inevitable every time, and would you like to be on auto ship or HD or equivalent to that? And then that's when the upline would chime and say, oh yeah, yep, they would. And I would be like, okay, yeah, obviously the upline wants you to be on auto ship or on HD, but do you fully understand what that means? And my fear back then, which I don't know if it is true here with this company, but the fear was that they didn't understand what they're getting themselves into. And because they didn't understand what they're getting themselves into, it was quicker for them to back out. They're like, oh my gosh, what is this reoccurring $100 and some odd every month? That wasn't explained to me. And then the second part of this are the health benefits. Look, this product is freaking amazing. This product is so amazing that it can change lives. And I'm going to be completely honest with you guys. I have not been fully trained on Shakeology, on the health benefits of Shakeology, but I do know that they do exist. I would love to be more up to par on. I would love to spit out facts here and there, but I guarantee you, if we were to talk more about the health benefits of Shakeology, people would stay on it more than just talk about the financial benefits of being on Shakeology. Because if they don't know what they're taking and it costs $120, they're not going to take it.
Right.
They need to understand what this product is doing for them. And by doing so, by being educated on the product, they're like, oh my gosh, how can I not survive? I have to have this every single day.
I have a holistic nutritionist who's one of my coaches, and she was a tough sell at the beginning because she had a company and she needed to make sure she believed in the product before. And once she really researched Shakeology, she, that's how she does so well, because she has a following, but also she says that she used to go to Whole Foods and spend so much money to get all the ingredients to make her shake. And now she has it all done for her. And I'll tell you, she's done a couple good videos for her coaches on the benefits of Shakeology. And I'll post one of them in the group. Kevin, if you want to just kind of see, maybe she touches on some areas that will help you. But the other thing I just wanted to say, I started doing this with discount coaches, but I've realized that I'm starting to do this now with customers. And I can post this as well. But, I started sending discount coaches once they received their challenge pack, not before they ordered, not before they received it, but once they received their challenge pack, I sent them an email, and it basically went through all the things that they need to expect, not just the monthly cost of the shakes, but the business fee, the club membership, how they get it for free for 30 days, if they feel like they do use Beachbody On Demand, how they can cancel it, how they get on demand with all the links, their coach ID. And now I start doing it to customers because I get that thing where they're like, I was charged $42, and it's almost it gives them the impression that we're scamming them in a way. And it's got to be where we are upfront with them and they know exactly why we're charging this, how, and I go through how, what the charges are. And I made a document and I have it in my file section in my PS group, because I encourage all my coaches to do that. They need to be upfront. You will retain them longer if you're upfront with them. Yep. And I also encourage them to treat their discount coaches as VIP customers, because that's what they are. They don't care to be a coach, but we're not just like, okay, great, we got you, you're done. I don't need to take care of you anymore. No, those are the ones that you need to be messaging, sending them a new recipe saying, I thought you might like this since you're vegan, giving them shout outs in the challenge groups. I mean, it's definitely something. When you see those discount codes dropping, there's a reason why. It's not like they're just sick of the program. You've dropped the ball on them.
Yeah, I agree.
So what I do the same thing. I have, I use the AWeber, the automatic system, and they get an email 3 weeks in that tells them everything about the, what to expect. The shakes are coming. If you want to modify it, if you want to change your flavor, your Beachbody On Demand free club membership is expiring. It's going to be this, that, and the other thing. But also in my team page, every 3 weeks, at the end of every challenge group, I put it in the challenge group and I put it in my team page because everybody's in my team page. And I say, important reminder, da-da-da-da-da. And I tell them everything. And they're like, whoops, thank you. Wait, I use that. Can I keep it? Yes, you can. I don't want it. And it's nobody ever says I missed the boat. And then my coaches, my diamonds, I see doing that because we're all in each other's groups. I see them copy and paste it into their groups. So, and I'm very upfront when they're ordering. I show them the difference in my shakes if I ordered without HG, without the discount, with the discount. I tell them the whole thing. So they're told 3 different ways.
Rose, you're awfully quiet. What's your thoughts?
I was just listening. I have a survey that I do. So I have like a 7-day Shakeology survey and then like a 30-day Shakeology survey. That way I can like send that to people and they can, because I think it's hard for people, like Sandra was saying, to realize how they feel now from, day 1 to day 7. It's kind of hard to have that day to day, like how you're feeling better. So the survey just kind of asks them like, how's their energy? Are they sleeping better? How's their digestion? Besides just the weight loss, but those other things that most people really don't realize that Shakeology can help them out with. And I think that's just a great way to kind of have that retention because people realize, oh, okay, besides weight loss, this is helping me with my energy and my hair is growing longer or my nails or whatever it is. And then also with retention, I found I do a 7-day shake group. And then also in my challenge groups, I post, and I think we all heard of just kind of like posting an ingredient like camu and like explaining what that does for our body or explaining amino acids and what that does for us or the pre and probiotics. So I always try, no matter, regardless if they're a discount coach or whatever customer, I always try and get them in some sort of group so that I can further, give them knowledge about what they're actually doing.
So with that, I really, really like that idea. Is that something that you've pre-recorded or put together or pre-post or how do you do that?
For the 7-day shake group?
Yeah. I mean, how do you keep informing them of the benefits of the product?
Yeah. I just have like a Google document and I have like pictures and I have like information that I like working with feedback. Already have like preset. Yeah. Yeah.
Very cool. Yeah. So to Sandra's point here.
Yes, I can share that.
Excellent. We would love to see that. Yeah. So I realize we're hovering around retention, and it's a funny thing because so often we get people started with a program, and which includes Shakeology, but we need to realize that the ongoing purchase is Shakeology month after month after month, and they have to be sold on it. They have to be sold on this amazing product to stay on it because it does cost a lot of money, but it also had the benefits way outweigh the costs 100 to 1 if people really do understand what the product is doing for them. So fascinating conversation, guys. Okay, let's move on to
real quick. I just want to say one thing. Other than stressing the benefits, which is something that can be done in your post, by slowly dropping nuggets with that. But the other thing is also the way I also explain it to my customers is that, yes, it might be $130 and it's a lot more than a lot of other shakes. But for me, when I got started, it meant quitting the gym and saving the $40 a month. It meant not spending money on expensive vitamins that I wasn't drinking because I have a fear of swallowing pills. I no longer waste my money on Slim Fast shakes and Atkins bars that were expensive. Yes, you spend it in one lump sum every month, but you are spending it throughout the month and you don't even realize it. Going to Starbucks, going out to lunch, you can rein it in when you know that it's a meal replacement. And who really, that's 30, you're paying for 30 meals in one shot. Who else can you buy 30 meals for $130? So it's also trying to let them, because it's all about the money with them.
Value. You got to show the value.
Yeah.
Very good. I really like that, Sandra. I think that's a great way for them to see the value. I think if you point those things out, that's a great thing. Okay.
One thing I do want to mention too is the only time that I see people not on HD is free leads. Those are the only people, I think we all teach our teams that, challenge packs are obviously the way to go, or at least go on HD. That way they save on the shipping. But the only time I see someone that's not on HD is when I get a free lead. So I don't know if somewhere
about that. Do you guys actually, I want to hear, do you guys actually email? I started doing it when I first became a coach because I was so excited to get customer leads. And I know there's some coaches out there that have that rock star coach that they reeled in from there, but I'm honestly not having any luck with that.
I have a ton of luck.
Really? What do you do?
I use automatic CEO, so it's kind of like the AWeber, it sends out. But I think when I text message them, that's when I start getting a lot of response. So I have 3 active coaches right now. One's a pretty big rock star from the lead wheel.
Wow.
And you just reach out, you say, so you reach out first through email, and then at some point you text them?
I do it both on the same day, because I think what people think that is the emails that we send out are kind of just
automatic. Yeah,
they're not real people. So if I do it at one time, hey, I'm Rose in the email, and hey, I'm Rose in the text message, I think they get the idea, okay, this might be a real person. And I found that works out really well for me.
Can you do a blast to all the texts like you can an email, or no?
No, I just do it one by one. I just pretty much, copy and paste the same message, and then I just change their name, hey, whoever.
Maybe it's what you're saying that maybe that you can also share, because I kind of announced that, let them know that I was assigned to you and this and that, but I don't know, maybe I'm saying something wrong. I don't know.
And even especially if it's a free shake lead, if they don't initially respond to me within the first week, typically when I message them the second week and I say, hey, do you want any recipes for your Shakeology? That's when they'll respond to me. So It's really also in that, if I don't get them with that initial one, it's definitely within that follow-up asking them for if they want any recipe ideas.
I used to do really well with it, and I just wrote to my assistant and said, you know what, ever since we started AWeber, I haven't heard back from any leads. Can you check and make sure they're getting the thing?
Yeah, interesting. And maybe we should stay on this topic. I have 10 questions I need to ask, and we only have 8 minutes left, but I'm really curious. This has been something that's been on my mind for quite some time, this retention thing, because from everything you guys are saying, getting people to start on HD isn't the problem. That sounds like that's an easy thing to do. So can you guys talk in general? I realize it's hard to be specific here, but talk in general about what time do people get off, quit, become inactive, and maybe the reasons, your theories as to why.
I think it's the first month. For me, if I'm going to lose an HD customer, it's usually the first month, or because I feel like after that, people just kind of let it keep coming. And that's when I kind of reach out to them, and I even say it, because I know I'm going to lose them. If not, I just want to let you know, you can change your flavor. What do and then make sure that, if you're overloaded, push back your ship date. I do tell them that, even though I hate to have somebody, go inactive if they're a discount coach, or, lose a month of HD, whatever it may be. If they get overloaded and they have a bunch of boxes in their house, they're going to quit. They're not even going to think at that point to push it back. So, Yeah, I mean, I'm really like, it goes back to like the way I've changed with not like that Chelsea Pearson video was awesome. And that's kind of like where I'm going, because, I was sitting there saying like, why are my paychecks not where they should be? And it's because last year I took a lot of my HD customers and made them discount coaches. And this year, my goal is to get as many people on HD and have those customers that are sticking with it every month and getting challengers and people that are happy. And, if they turn into coaches, great. And if I rank, great. But, I'm all about income right now. I mean, I've totally changed my, I'm definitely pushing for a lead and stuff and pushing my team, but I'm not pushing for rank.
So you mentioned that you say, are you saying that most people after month one, that's when they decide whether they quit, they're off HD or not? Is that when you see most people fall off?
It's not that they decide. I feel like they have it already in their head whether they're gonna try. They only wanted to buy it once. They know they can't afford it. Whether they come back because I do like them and it was expensive, but I don't know. I don't know. Let's hear what they have to say. I mean, I just feel like if they have it in their mind that they did the HD for the $2 shipping or whatever it may be, but they already know that they cannot afford this every month, they're going to go ahead and quit. They're going to go ahead and cancel it that first month. But it's the people that have been on it for a while. The only reason they're quitting down the road is because they're overloaded.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely agree with what Sandra's saying. Usually it's after the first month, and then those people that kind of you don't hear from and you're like, all right, you have to definitely reach out to them to make sure they're not overloaded with anything. For me, I think it's all over the place. And I realize I can't force anyone to like Shakeology. I can teach them and tell them why it's good for them. But if they don't like it, they don't like it. And I can't force them to. So that's where I'm like, all right, if that person doesn't like it, like I got to move on and not kind of force it on them and just find people that love it. Because you find those people who are lifers, and that's the people that I'm trying to find. And even like the past month, I've had, I think like 2 or 3 people that were on it like last year that have come back. People realize like, all right, this is the real stuff, like this works. And they got off of it because it was too much money, but now they're realizing the value and that it was worth it. So they're getting back on it.
So are you saying that, Rose, you're agreeing that it's after month one that you see people either drop off? That's your biggest drop off?
Yeah, I would say so, especially within my downline. Yeah.
And it's because of money reasons.
Yeah, they just don't see it yet.
They don't see the value yet. Mm-hmm. Interesting. Okay, Doreen, what about you?
I'm going to say 3 to 6 months. I have about a 3 to 6 month retention rate for the average person. I think if they're in a group, a really active group, and they participate, they stay on it. If you never hear from them after they buy it, they're gone. But I would say 3 to 6 months is mine.
And you feel like the challenge groups are the answers to why they stay on that long?
Absolutely.
Okay. And after the 3 to 6 months, they drop off because the challenge group stopped, or their program?
No, because they start to either they're a lifer or they start to drift from the meal plan, and parties get in the way and they don't bounce back and they stop participating. And then when you go to the next challenge group, I notice that they're not coming with us. Those people that drop off.
At this point, because I feel like 3 to 6 months, that's a good number to have. Hopefully, by that time, they've gone through the challenge group, they've had this transformation, and are hopefully, ideally, would start posting the transformation pictures and start working the business. And then because they're starting to see the financial benefit of selling Shakeology, that compensates for what they're paying for Shakeology.
Well, all in theory, that would make us all millionaires.
I agree. So
it all sounds good. Can you make everybody do that?
Is it though that people get off because they're not making that money?
They're not, they may be discount coaches. 95% of who we sign are discount coaches.
I understand that.
I mean, if you get one, if you're lucky, and I'm not that lucky to get 1 or 2 people a month that work the business, I'm not that lucky,
And yeah,
we'd all be 15 stars.
There's the question right there is how can we move them from, if we can keep them on Shakeology during the challenge group time, and at the end push them into working the business, like you said, that's the ideal. But there's a missing factor.
There's a reason there's 1,000 people at Star Diamond or above. There's a reason out of 457,000. People think if they don't get instant gratification, if they don't sell a challenge pack because they say, who wants to buy a challenge pack? That's it. I tried. It doesn't work. So we are the rarity.
Yeah.
Finding the rarity is very hard.
Yeah. Good. Hey guys, this has been an awesome conversation. In fact, I would love to continue this on. If we'll see, I don't know who's teaching next week, but if they don't show up, then this is something where we can continue the conversation. I'll give 2 thoughts to end this call. And these are both from Carl. In fact, Carl mentioned it yesterday, and today he posted about it. He just recently posted about it, about being what a coach actually means. And I highly recommend you guys, if you haven't read it yet, to go to Carl's Facebook page and read what it means to be a coach. And he said, in the clearest, most purest definition of coach, it's, look, you start here and you want to become here. My job is to help you get there. In any sports, it's like, look, my whole job is to help you to become better on any sports team. And I'm going to push you, and I'm going to make you work hard, but I love you, and we're going to do this together. And that's what a coach does. That's who we are. And so when we sign up people, it is so key and so important to say, look, what are your goals? What are your goals? And if you don't have goals, then let's find goals, because you have to have goals when starting this business. Let's find out what those are.